Hello, I have had so many memories with an iconic dual screen handheld, that being the Nintendo DS, and a lot of fun vibes came with it. So today, might as well count down my 10 favorites, and let me tell you, this thing is now 20 years old this year. Let that sink in. For rules, only games that play like usual, but also I really had to emphasize this time, no remakes. So unfortunately, no Heart Gold and Soul Silver, no Mario 64 DS, which really hurts. Neither are Marvel's Fire Emblem games. None of the Square Enix remakes of Final Fantasy 3, 4, or Chrono Trigger. That might be a list for another day, but with all that said, let's go! Well, here's the one good, completely portable Mario Party, which is a very low bar. And heck, if it was on a console, I would like it more. But alas, anyways, like most Mario parties, this is a core theme. This one being, well, small. So the minigames and boards play off that theme really well. Since how they look huge in comparison, the boards, despite there only being 5 total, are all great. I particularly love the library and pinball machines. The minigames are fun too, with the mic actually functioning, the touch control is not too in your face, and I love the collectibles in this game. Really a pretty underrated game. Really was the end of a great Mario Party streak. Oh well. Yeah, the lowest a Zelda game has ever been on here. But hey, despite being one of my least favorite Zelda games, it's still fun because it's a Zelda game. Bam Hourglass, well, the good as well as Lineback. Great use of the touchscreen. Pretty good 2D dungeons besides one infamous example. And good soundtrack. Though this game does get repetitive with the infamous Ocean King and music, despite most being good, constantly gets reused at different points. I am looking at you, generic dungeon theme. And while good, definitely outweighs the bad. Another game on this same exact system does pretty much everything in this game but better, but we'll get there when we get there. I guess we'll cross that track when we get there. I guess New Super Mario Bros. Peaked right away with entry 1. While the series is formulaic and boring and generic, the first felt fresh from one original bosses that aren't just Koopa Links. Best soundtrack of the series, well, you got the fucking minigames. Yes, most are ported from 64DS, which can't be on this list unfortunately. But still, those fucking minigames are total bangers. I also had good memories of the first mode. Really, New Super Mario Bros. Is a fun nostalgic vibe. Not much else to say. Here's an underrated banger, Mario Hoops 3-on-3. First of all, can we talk about how this game, exists? Like, a Mario basketball game is cool enough, but with Final Fantasy crossover and a banger soundtrack, the fuck? How does this game exist? I fucking love it for that, fuck yes. This game, I will admit, I suck ass at, but hey, it's the fun that all that matters. And it isn't balanced in the slightest with the Final Fantasy characters being broken as fuck. Though honestly, like F-Zero, it's a fun challenge. My personal team in this game was Waluigi, the Final Fantasy Ninja, and Fly Guy. I don't know, that combo just always clicked with me. Great game that really was a fun experiment that I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to, but I doubt that's ever going to happen. Wario time! Wah! Touch is such a fun game in this series. This is how you advertise different mechanics to the DS. Well, each character pretty much a theme of the DS mechanics, like the robot named Mike has many games revolving around, well, the Mike, Qui-Gon while spinning, though my two favorites use a mix of all mechanics, those being 9-volt balls, Nintendo references, and Wario Man being an egotistical, lovable bastard self-inserting himself in all his micro games like usual. Only complaint is, well, I wish there were more micro games. You could tell this put out quickly to ensure it was there for early DS life. Oh well. Still one of my favorite games in the series. Based on what I said about Phantom Hourglass earlier, you knew this would show up. Just maybe not this low, being the Zelda fan I am. I feel this game took a lot of Phantom Hourglass complaints and pretty much fixed them, such as less repeat music and Tower of Spirits being much, much better than that dungeon. Plus now the Phantoms can technically be your ally, with Zelda actually being your main ally in this game. Which, speaking of characters, most underrated cast by far. It's no any of the 3D games, but honestly, of the 2D games, best cast by far. Besides maybe Link Between Worlds, I mean, you got one of the best Zeldas, but also Alfonso, Byrne, and all the other side characters. Although the train was utilized here, I think another Toon Link game with Boat would have gotten annoying and kind of repetitive. So I'm glad they went for the train as a new way, and at first be the only Zelda game with a train, gives this game more of an identity. I just personally wish Spirit Tracks some more content, and maybe it would be higher, but hey, great game nonetheless, pretty underrated. Now here's a shocker, the obligatory Mario Kart, which unlike 64 I have praised numerous times in previous videos, couldn't reach top 3, and well, if you asked me about how many of the Mario games was, it actually would have made the top 3, but well, let me explain while looking back at this. This game has the highs of a great Mario Kart game, but lows of a weak Mario Kart game. Let's start with the negatives, come on, be more positive. First off, my god, the retro tracks are for the most part mid, with an anticlimactic end, downgrading the double dash tracks, a couple of literally 3 generic ass first circuits, and not just handled well in the slightest. First game into the typical Retro Cup format, and it really does show. Also, while most of the mission mode is great, especially the bosses, there are a good number of missions that are just padding, aka the drift this many time missions. Okay. That is enough negativity. First of all, one of the best battle modes ever, might be my favorite in the series, besides Double Dash. The new tracks are so amazing, some of the best. I literally sang their praises in a previous video. Typical great soundtrack, some of the most fun mechanics. And one detail I really do love in this game is there are a lot of references to other Mario Universe games, the cars and courses, like references to Luigi's Mansion, course, and the Poltergeist, Mario 3, Airship Fortress, and Desert Hills, and even Donkey Kong Country, the Rainy Rider. Also, this game has Rob, like, that's like something to add to this game's identity. Also, the only game in the emblems feature, which I really just wish it returned, but the emblems, I can see why they haven't been brought back, since, you know, people online definitely used certain symbols. So this is overall one of my favorite Mario Kart games. Definitely my top 3, but I guess just couldn't make the top 3 here. But overall, great game, don't get me wrong. Alright, let me go off on a limb and say Partners in Time did not make the list, but if it did have number 11, it would be number 11. But my god, Spirit Tracks was the Phantom Hourglass like Bowser's Inside Story was a Partners in Time. Overall, all 4 of them are great games. With the former, it's still a great game, but the sequel just improved the formula in every way. First of all, Fallful making a great return, stepping in as the main villain this time, was a great twist to help enhance his popularity to this day. Bowser stole the show, though. This is honestly the closest to a Bowser game ever since. He definitely feels more like the protagonist compared to the Mario Brothers. The Mario Brothers are great per usual, but not much to say new about them since it's a very if it ain't broke, don't fix it these two this time. But like seriously, Bowser is the protagonist of this game. I don't care what anyone says. Overall, my favorite Mario and Luigi game. My favorite soundtrack, villains, mechanics, just overall quality. Just not for the top 2, but hey, I'm excited to see what the series brings back next. So, will this be topped? Who knows? Pokemon Platinum. Yes, Platinum, not Diamond and Pearl. Oh my god. Platinum crushes both of them and their remix as the official definitive Sinnoh Pokemon experience, with actual team building for both the player and the bosses. Great post game, great soundtrack, and a very fun game to replay. I played Platinum God knows how many times, but the team really was my shining Platinum through it all was Infernape, Garchomp, Floatzel, Luxray, Togekiss, and my GOAT, Gliscor, aka my favorite Sinnoh Pokemon ever. And not to mention many other greats like Empoleon, Lucario, Staraptor, Electivire, Rotom, Spiritomb, Galay, and then go on and on and on. Damn, so many fucking memories of Platinum. Fun fact, I was scared to try Platinum as a kid since to me, and well, many others, Diamond and Pearl really was such a drag. But Platinum really fixed it up, unlike Emerald and Crystal, which overall I found better, but they honestly did some things worse, like in the original like champion placement in Emerald. But Platinum is just an improvement in every way compared to Diamond and Pearl. Honestly, this almost was number 1. But let's just say, a few years later, Platinum had some younger siblings, which beat it for the number 1 spot. Is it a cop-out to technically have 4 games number 1? Yeah, but honestly, my list is, my god, Pokemon Generation 5 really was Pokemon at its peak. Let's start chronologically with the OGs. Black and White 1 was an ideal soft reboot. I personally love only being allowed to use new Pokemon at first. I don't know about you, but whenever I play a new Pokemon game, I want to try out new things and have a team of new Pokemon. My most memorable team here is my squad of Samurott, Darmanitan, Electros, Scrafty, Hexorus, and Scolipede. I also think it's the best story of any Pokemon game, with Team Plasma being the most interesting evil team. And my gosh, the geography in Unova is amazing, to the point where even bridges, and there are a lot of them, are here. And this is actually my favorite game to casually play through. As for post-game included, well, Black and White 2 is actually my favorite Pokemon game by a slight margin, but not gonna lie, I didn't really want the top 3 spots to be just Pokemon. Solo Gen 5 gets the top spot here, and damn, Black and White 2 really was a series peak and magnum opus. Everything about it just fucking clicks to me, and I love it. I ain't complaining with the vibes, with the great pacing, and by far, my favorite post-game like Pokemon World Tournament over Battle for Ranger any day. My most memorable team here was Lucario, Flygon, Arcanine, Jellicent, Braviary, and Crocodile. Yeah, no starter here, because not gonna lie, if Gen 5 didn't do much well with, it was starters. But anyways, I have replayed both games so many damn times. My god, both of my favorite Pokemon soundtrack ever. My favorites had new Pokemon. Someone even mentioned earlier, like Excadrill, Bisharp, Hydreigon, Volcarona, Chandelure, Galvantine, Rayquaza, and so much more. Like the Tao Trio being one of my favorite trios ever. Also, the sprite work in Generation 5 was chef's kiss, so fucking peak. With all that said, Pokemon Generation 5, those 4 games are my favorite games in the Nintendo DS. So with all that said, have a great day, honey bubbas. Keep on vibing.